Adversity can break you. What do you do with the pain? What do you do with the adversity? There are so many people who want to win, who want to be successful, but they don't know how to play the game. And as long as you are reacting, you can never proact. So there's a difference between a thermostat and a thermometer. Mindset's everything. Having the mindset of a winner. Persistence through resistance. Life is a game you play to win.
Do you see yourself as a winner or a loser? See, different circumstances are going to come, and how you see yourself is going to make the difference in how you handle those circumstances. Another question is this: do you have faith in yourself to know that you can accomplish what you want? Well, keep listening, because my guest here today is going to help us answer those questions. I'm Larry Davis, and this is the Growth State of Mind. And today I'm having a conversation with Shawn Harper, and we're going to talk about the winning mindset. Now, let me introduce you to my guest. Shawn is a former NFL football player and the CEO and life coach. Hey, Shawn, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, man, thank you so much for the conversation. Let's have fun. Let's go. Let's win. And let's transform some lives today.
No doubt, no doubt. So, Shawn, give us a little backfill, a brief backfill for those of us who don't know,
Sure.
a brief backfill of your story and kind of how you got to be where you are today.
So I'll start with the end. I played about 7 years professional football, and along with that, I've been a business owner. I am a business owner, actually, of another firm. I've owned this one for about 20 years and close to 100 employees. I travel around the country, actually around the world, and I speak. I invest in people, which is the greatest resources, people. But that's the story. It's the actual journey that is kind of interesting, because I had to make a switch from a success mindset to a winning mindset. Had so much stacked against me, and I'm talking about documented with 4 to 5 learning disabilities in school, repeating the first grade, kicked out of 2 schools for disciplinary issues, left high school with a 1.62 cumulative GPA, 9 on my ACT, secretly voted most likely to fail. I wasn't even an honorable mention in sports. I was basically at the bottom of the barrel, and I knew it. And my mindset was like, yeah, you're definitely at the bottom of the barrel. In fact, I was the guy that would, get the dreaded participation trophy. There's no awards in sports at all. And I get a phone call from a junior college, a 2-year school in Iowa. And basically I was like, no, I'm not going, so what, go play football. Why? I'm horrible in football. There's no awards. There's no all state, all city, all intergalactic universe or anything like that. It says, you suck, Harper. And the junior college called, and I was like, no, thank you. It hung up basically. But then that dream began to speak, just the dream. And I don't know where this dream came from playing football, because there was nothing around me that validated that dream that was in me. But I picked the phone back up and I called. I said, Coach, you know what? I'll go. I'll come. In the first year of that junior college, I sat the bench the entire season, not one play. And going into the second year, I have a conversation with myself, and the conversation goes sort of like this. There's no way that you're gonna be successful. You don't have, the education, you don't have the network, you're horrible in sports and yada, yada, yada. There's just no way, but you can win. And the moment I said that, I began to look at obstacles as opportunities, and I shot out the cannon. I changed my entire mindset. And I want to take a really deep dive in that word mindset, because people just say it flippantly. Mindset. No, let's take mindset. In other words, you set your mind. And once I was able to set my mind, there was, it was just absolutely amazing. I went from sitting on the bench to first team, conference this, conference that, junior college Hall of Fame, drafted in the NFL, took the same mindset and I applied it to business. And I've been in business for 20 years. I stuttered my entire life, took the same mindset, and I became a national, international speaker. And I just keep moving with the mindset.
Man, that's a fascinating story. You kind of, it kind of happens that way. I've heard that story before. Yours is different, but I've heard that story before, and it seems like those kind of things, that all those early adversities is what actually drove you to accomplish all the things you accomplished.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about adversity is that adversity can break you, and it often breaks a lot of people. And you can always tell when you're being broken or you've been broken by adversity because you make a lot of excuses and you begin to hate on other individuals' wins. It's like, oh man, this person ain't all that. This person ain't that. You become very critical at a certain part or a certain junction or a certain age. You begin to grow extremely critical, and all that is anger and aggravation, because you know that greatness is in you, but you don't have the tools or the wherewithal or the mindset to pull it out. Adversity can break you, but it also can make you a record breaker. And it's, what do you do with the pain? What do you do with the adversity? What do you do with your problems? Do you succumb to it, or do you use it as fuel and motivation and inspiration to get to the next level and to win and keep on winning?
Yeah. So along with the mindset. Well, first, before we get to the mindset, because you spoke on it a little bit, but before we go a little bit more into that, you got a book. You're an author of a book. Your book, the Winning Edge: 8 Principles That Will Bring Out the Winner in You. Tell us what led you to write that book, and pretty much what is it about?
Well, basically, the Winning Edge is about tactics, methodologies, spiritual laws, and strategies that enabled me to win. What I've learned and what I've realized is that what allowed me to win isn't taught. It's not taught. Success is taught often. This is what you have to do to become successful. You work hard within the parameters. You live, this type of lifestyle. You drive this car. There's no deferred gratification. You have it all. You have it all now. And there are so many people who want to win, who want to be successful, but they don't know how to play the game. So imagine if you're trying to play football and you don't know the rules. You're gonna lose every time. So what I've been able to do is to take 7, 8 principles, methodologies, laws that I've used to allow me to win the game and to shift the game in my favor, to in essence shift the playing field to my favor. At the very least, take advantage of the playing field and know which plays to run where I'm at on the field.
Okay. So would you say that your book, will anybody be able to pick this book up no matter where they are are there any prerequisites to what I'm saying, to having success, before reading your book? Or
No. The first thing that you have to realize is that you are a winner, right? So that right there is the most important aspect of winning in life, is to know that you're a winner. See, life is always directly or indirectly telling you who you are and who you're not. Its goal is to place you in a reactionary mindset. And as long as you are reacting, you can never proact. So there's a difference between a thermostat and a thermometer. One sets the temperature, the other responds to the temperature. So here I am now, is that my self-concept is that I'm a winner. Now, from my self-concept of being a winner, now my belief is that I can win. Now, from the belief I can win, now my thinking is about winning. And from now the thinking is about winning, now I'm speaking winning. So everything is congruent. It lines up in total agreement that I'm a winner. Now you move from that perspective versus moving from a victimized perspective, or maybe I can do it, maybe I can't. You're losing right there. If you walk out that locker room, walk into the game of life, and you don't know that you can win the game, you've already lost. That's the first thing you have to nail down, is that, you know what? I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I play to win. That's what I do.
if you're thinking about breaking into the tech field, then you should enroll in Course Careers. Our economy has changed, and so has the way we start careers. Course Careers is an online platform that will help you start your career faster without wasting money on college. With the Course Careers program, you can enroll into their online self-paced courses to begin, and you can complete the course in as little as a few weeks. And You don't have to worry about having the time to finish because all the courses are self-paced. You'll learn everything that's required to land your first job in tech sales, digital marketing, or information technology. The people at Course Careers partner directly with companies that want to hire you when you finish the program. People that finish the program are making $60,000 a year working from home. One person was able to finish the course within 2 weeks, and before they can even apply to any companies, their dream company reached out to them and set up an interview. They offered them over $100,000 a year starting in a fully remote position, and they didn't have any previous experience. If you want to get into the tech field, then go to my website, theladavis.com, to enroll today. And just for my listeners of this show, you can get a $50 discount when you use the coupon code LA50. That's LA50. Just go to theladavis.com/career, and you can also find that link in the show description. Course Careers is the quickest and most affordable way to change or start a career. Let's talk about mindset, because you hinted on that a little bit. How important is mindset in the game of life? Just how important is it?
Mindset's everything. Mindset, basically, what I just talked about is having the mindset of a winner. That is so profound. And let me give you an example. Is that if I'm a winner and I'm going to manifest the win around me, I'm going to make and I'm going to, transform, and the win is going to come from within me, out of me, and around me. Well, then I need to have the persistence until I see it come to fruition. In other words, persistence through resistance. The number one key of a winning entrepreneur, CEO, is persistence. Keep knocking, keep fighting, keep moving, never giving up. Persistence through resistance. That is the secret. But that it doesn't happen often if you don't have a strong self-concept, self-esteem of who you are, and that you're not allowing people to define you. In other words, you're not living for people. You got to pass the money test. You got to pass the people test. You got to pass the test. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that your self-esteem and self-concept has to be so strong that when you see the rejection, when you see people laughing at you, when you see people giving you all the naysayers and you can't do it and you're a failure, you're a loser, you keep going. Persistence through resistance.
Yeah. So sounds like you kind of explaining like a growth mindset, basically, also. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I always like to say when you have a growth mindset, a growth mindset is where when you take everything that you experience and you take what like you said, all of the adversity and things like that, and you persevere through that. But the reason why you persevere is because your growth mindset tells you that, hey, I'm not really worried about failure because failure is a part of the process. And it's also, I'm here to learn. And because I believe this, we're talking about winning and the winning mindset, but you're still going to fail. You're still going to have some failures. You're not going to be 100%. You're not going to be 10 out of 10, whatever you're doing. Michael Jordan, he missed some shots. You know what I mean? All of the greats, they're going to miss some shots. You're going to lose some games, and you're going to lose some game, the game of life. You're going to lose some battles in life. And so I like to think of it as like the growth mindset, to where everything is still an experience, and your failures are a part of the overall, picture,
Yeah. So interesting. You mentioned Michael Jordan. So I challenge anyone that's listening to me right now to go to Google and type in the most shots missed by NBA players, and go just take the top 10. And in that top 10 list, you're going to see Michael Jordan. You're going to see LeBron James. You're going to see Kobe Bryant. You're going to see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You're going to see the best players that's ever played the game, but you don't focus on them because they don't focus on them. They just keep shooting. They keep shooting your shot. In fact, I don't even like to call it failure. I call it course correction, right? And I'll tell you a quick story. My son, when he was in the 10th grade, he brought home like a D on the test. And I was just like, livid, because I'm paying a lot of money for this. prestigious school, right? I'm like, I'm mad. And he's like, Dad, don't worry about it. I'm like, what do you mean don't worry about it? Are you kidding me? He said, listen, all I have to do is to correct these and I'll get half credit. And I'm really mad. I think that's so stupid. That is so stupid. But I realized what they were doing. What they were doing is that failure is never the end. It's not the end. Is that you can course correct. And it was embedding it into the conscious of these students that you can always course correct. You can make corrections and get back on course. And that's how it's done. Like when you fly on a plane, like from the moment the plane takes off, it's off course. It's going up and down, left and right, always course correction or always course correcting until it gets to its final destination. Course correction. The average millionaire, do you know that the average millionaire, according to Google, has filed for bankruptcy 3.2 or 3.5 times? Just go to Google and look it up.
Wow, that's crazy. Let's talk about failure or course correction, as you like to call it. We know that you're a former NFL player, and that's definitely I don't even know the percentage, but the 1% people can make it to the league, or less than
Less than
1% or whatever it
1%.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's success within itself. And now you're a successful business owner, speaker, entrepreneur, and all those things. Now, but and all that's great and fantastic. But what we really want to hear, and what I really want to hear is tell us about a time that you failed, and it can be anything, but just tell us about a time that you failed and how did you overcome it?
Wow. So I'm gonna say this, and you might not believe me, which is okay, but I don't remember a lot of them because I don't focus on them, right? So just a time that I failed, but I was able to overcome it. Well, leaving high school with a 1.62 cumulative GPA, that right there was okay, you are a failure. And to be able to come back from that and to go to junior college and then from junior college to Indiana University and then from Indiana to play in the NFL. Also, when I got to Indiana, I had hopes and dreams of playing immediately, but I was redshirted. And that in itself was a failure. But I was able to take the lessons, regroup, recalibrate, recalculate, remeasure, reassess, and get back in there and just keep grinding. I fail every day. I just don't focus on it. So it's hard for me to remember.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean that's what it's about, and that's what I wanted everyone to hear is regardless of whether you can recount them or whether you can recall and just vividly recall them. I just wanted everybody to hear that it's possible to have some adversity, have some failures, and overcome them,
Yeah.
and get to a point definitely to where, and we want to get to the point where you say, like you said, I don't really remember. I know they're there, but I can't recall them because I'm, you know, my mindset, like you spoke earlier, my mindset is focused on winning. And
Right.
so that's why it's hard for you to remember them.
Yeah. And one of the strategies is to look at life like a game, right? So if life is a game, you play to win. Okay. So I try to have the same aggression, and I pray that I keep the same aggression to making right choices, right decisions, right strategies, right leverage till the day I die. So when you're playing a game, a good team never gets comfortable. I mean, you could be blowing the team out, but if you ever notice when you see the good teams, the really overachieving teams, man, they don't care if there's 45 points on the board and there's zero. They are going for the score. They cannot stop. They don't get comfortable. They got to pull those guys, pull the starters, put the second team in. Because if I step on the field, I'm giving it 110%. And it's like I'm a dog. I am going 110%. what's interesting is that I've had to make some adjustments, right? Because I'm getting older, and like, okay, I'm starting to slow down a little bit, but no, change up my diet, do the whole keto, intermittent fasting, whatever I got to do to keep that edge, to keep my energy up to where I'm able to perform, how I need to perform to win and learn how to use leverage. But I'm still running. I'm still grinding.
Are you trying to build your personal brand and break free from your 9 to 5? Or maybe you like your 9 to 5, but you want to start a side hustle and make some extra money? Take control of your legacy, your narrative, and your finances by unlocking the tools you need to create impact and financial freedom. Maybe you have a message to share, but right now, that message is not being heard. Maybe you're lacking the community to serve with your passion and gifts. Maybe you don't have a clear path to turn your passion into income. You may have anxiety about where to even start because putting yourself out there at first can feel overwhelming. Well, I want to tell you about the Impact Creator Society. This is a community created to help you build your six-figure personal brand. Once you have a clear path to turn your passion into profit and grow an established community, a world of possibilities will open up for you. The Impact Creator Society is a community to help you create your impactful brand that generates freedom and legacy. Inside this community, you will get courses and workshops to include the Entrepreneur's Blueprint and Millionaire Mentor Masterclass. You will get group accountability through an online engaged community. If you're ready to start or to level up your personal brand, then go to theladavis.com/impact to join today. Again, that's theladavis.com/impact, and you can also find that link in the show description. And something you said, like when you talked about how a team, when they have a lead or whatever, they would have to take the start out because they're going to keep playing hard. I think there's only one way to do it because. And this, being an athlete, that if you don't play hard, two things can happen. And if you don't play with all of your ability, two things can happen. You can either give up that lead because you get too conservative. Also, this is another thing: injuries. You can have injuries. You can get hurt by playing.
Right.
So, and that's the same thing in the game of life, right?
That's right. You got to go full speed. It's not over until you flatline, till you meet your maker. That's it. God, here I am. Okay, well done. If you can't perform physically, then use your mouth. Okay, speak, talk, encourage, but you just keep fighting, keep pushing. Never stop. You never stop playing the game. And you may take a break here and there because you have to have either like a timeout, a halftime, or off season, right? There's three different forms of time that you have when you play the game. Okay, which season are you in? Which is a different podcast to discern your season. Okay, I'm in a timeout. Good. Take a breath, drink a Gatorade, get back in there. On board people, off board people, get back in there. Keep grinding. You keep grinding. You don't stop because there's a healthy fear. And sure, I'm not supposed to have fears, right? But yeah, I do have fears. And every time you step on the field, you can lose the game. And you don't have to, and that's number one. So I'm prepared. Number two is that you don't have to win all 4 quarters to win the game. But I've seen people lose the game in the 4th quarter. I've seen people go through life and they're doing stellar. I mean, they're doing great. They're doing amazing. And they get comfortable and they get lax and they make one bad mistake, one bad comment, one bad gesture. Lose it all. So you got to stay sharp.
So let me ask you this. I just thought of this question. In today's day and age, people got different definitions of winning and things like that. And everybody wants to win. But I do believe, and I'm all for like everything that you're saying, and I'm all for, winning, giving it your all, grinding, because I believe we're all here for a purpose and we're here to serve each other, serve others. And you can't do that if you're not going hard for what you are put here to do.
Right.
But in today's day and age with social media and just the way things are, there is a toxicity to what other people say is winning, or you know what I mean? Like, oh, you should have these many streams of income, and you should, work till you die. Like all of this kind of stuff, and some of it is toxic. And trust me, I know, I'm no stranger to hard work, and I believe in hard work. That's what I teach my sons, hard work. But what do you think about how this culture is today with, you know, with success and winning? Like, what do you,
So
what's your take on it?
winning to me is the fullest expression of who you are mentally, spiritually, socially, emotionally, financially, and legacy. So you have to be able to push yourself in these 6 areas. And the greatest competitor in this game is you. You are the greatest competitor. So I'm fighting against myself emotionally. I'm fighting against myself physically, getting in shape. I'm fighting against myself financially, having discipline. I'm fighting against myself with my legacy, my son, my seed. I'm fighting against myself. I'm practicing against myself. I'm engaged fighting to get the best out of me, to get the best out of me in every aspect. So no, it might not be, you have a Bentley or you have the don't need that because I'm winning in all areas. And I'm looking to have some form of coach or an actual mentor in all areas to push me past me. So yeah, it it has nothing to do with people creating my standards for me. It's my fullest expression of me.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think the thing about it, like you said, I'm in competition with myself, and I think that's where we that's the problem today is people are all of the comparison and winning looks like beating you and beating you know what I mean, all
Right,
of that stuff.
right, right. Exactly. And and that is, man, that is so dangerous for a number of reasons. But one of the reasons why that's so dangerous is, and I seen this happen to a student athlete once, where this student athlete was, probably playing at 60% of his capacity, but he was getting praises and accolades from the fans and from the coaches. And I'm like, man, this guy, there's more in him. There's more in him. And unfortunately, he will never amount to his full potential because everyone is giving validation for common work when there's greatness in you. You got to push past you. You got to push into the 212. So yeah, I call it I call it the inside game where you are fighting against yourself 100%. Are you your best? Are you playing to your best? Are you performing to your best? Are you working to your best? And if you're not, you're losing.
So Shawn, I got one last question. It's been such a
Go
good
for it.
conversation. I got one last question for you. If you can look back and talk to your 18-year-old self, uh what what would you tell yourself? And it could be anything. Just what would you tell yourself, your 18-year-old self?
It's gonna be all right. I would say, Heart, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. And play the inside game. Don't play for nobody else. Play for God. Do what God has called you to do and be authentic and true to you. It's gonna be all right.
That's good. That's good. That's so good. Everybody, I've been talking with Shawn Harper, former NFL football player, CEO, life coach, and it's been a fascinating conversation. Hey, Shawn, can you tell us where can we get in
Sure.
contact with you, and also where can we get your book?
Yeah. So my book is on Amazon. My um, The Winning Edge. It's number one. I do have another book coming out. By the time the podcast airs, it will be out. It's called The Winologist, and it hits the winning from a different perspective. Great book, easy read. All my books, can be read in like one day. I'm not the 800-page guy. I just get it in, get the facts in, and just get in and get out. But I got, what I got for you guys though. If you go to ShawnHarper.co, ShawnHarpeo.co, you'll get a free copy of that book. And I think I told the webmaster and the people do all that CRM stuff, just give them the whole copy. So you can get a free copy of that book.
All right. Everybody, go out and get Shawn's book, connect with Shawn, and I'll make sure I'll link to those things in the show notes. Shawn, hey man, it's been good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, thank you. Be blessed.
All right. Hey, I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Shawn Harper. That's it. That's all I've got for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. Listen, if you like the show, please rate it, leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, like it and share it with someone who you know will benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe so that you get the updated episodes when they get released. Thanks again for watching and listening. And remember, let's win in life. And to do that, you got to keep a growth state of mind.